Hey everybody, playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and we're going to run you through the main Easter egg for Shattered Vale Zombies map. Now, before we jump into it, there's at least one requirement for this map. You need to make sure that you have Ether Shroud equipped as your field upgrade. You'll also eventually need explosives, combat axes, and a Casimir ball. These are items you can all purchase at a crafting table when the time comes, but Ether Shroud is a must as part of your loadout. Beyond that, the general concept of the main Easter egg is to collect 3 canisters, upgrade the ray gun to 3 different modes, and access 3 different paintings to fight 3 different mini-bosses. Prior to this though, we need to unlock the mainframe area and retrieve the ray gun, so let's start there. First thing you need to do is enter the library area, go up the stairs. There should be a zombie over here. If you kill him, he will drop a fuse. Go ahead and pick that up. We need that fuse to access an elevator. With the fuse from the library, we're going to continue to open doors heading towards the back of the estate area here. We're going to open up these 2 gates, and on the opposite side, if we turn left, we're going to head up some stairs to the director's quarters. Once we get into the director's quarters here, take a left. We're going to shoot a computer. It's going to drop a circuit board. We're going to pick that up. We have the fuse and the circuit board to fix the elevator. If we head back down the way we came, right across from the double tap machine is going to be the elevator room. So inside this room, you're going to head behind the elevator shaft, and we're going to place the circuit board and the fuse inside this panel here. That's going to give the elevator power. Once the elevator has power, we can go back around to the front and press the button on the front side of the elevator. That's going to spawn some zombies coming out of the elevator. Just go ahead and kill those zombies, and then we're going to interact with that same button again. Once these doors open, the elevator is going to drop down the shaft, and it's going to expose this cable that you can then descend down. At the bottom of this elevator shaft is going to be the mainframe chamber area. Inside here is going to be your pack-a-punch. If you head right or left, it's just a big circle. You can head up the stairs on the other side, and your pack-a-punch is right here. With the mainframe chamber area unlocked, now all we have to do is wait until round 10. Once round 10 is up, a zombie is going to spawn that is dressed like a lab technician and is going to drop a floppy disk. Now, this zombie may look like other zombies as well. It might be difficult to differentiate, so just keep an eye out on the ground for a floppy disk. We're going to take this floppy disk back to the east foyer area. We're going to access the computer on the bottom floor. This should spawn some vermin enemy for you. You basically just have to wait this out, but eventually the fax machine right next to the computer is going to spit out a piece of paper. We can interact with that piece of paper, and we're going to get a 4-letter word. This word is going to be used to complete a puzzle in a different area of the estate. So once the printer is done, interact with it. Our word is crab. We're going to take this word and we're going to head upstairs. From the grand foyer area, if we head left up the stairs, we're going to go all the way down this hallway to where PhD Flopper is, and we find a nursery with a chalkboard with some letters on it. This puzzle's pretty easy. We're going to take that 4-letter word and we're going to look at each letter and then the number of letters that are in that letter's grouping. Okay, and that's going to give us a 4-digit code. So for example, the word that we had was crab. We're going to look at C, and C has 5 letters in its grouping. So the first number in our code is 5. R for crab, okay, has 7 letters in its grouping. Same with A. All right, and then B has 5 letters in its grouping. So for the word crab, we have 5775. We're going to take that code back down the elevator into the mainframe chamber area. Once we get down here, we're going to run around the perimeter to the opposite side of the elevator shaft. Normally this door is closed. We went ahead and bought it. We're going to run through this tunnel and across the room to the other side. We're going to input that code into this panel here. Remember, for the word crab, we had 5775. That's going to open up this door here. We're going to have to take out this enemy. Once we do that and he dies, explodes, it's going to drop an arm for us. We're going to take this arm a little bit further down into the service tunnel area. So it's just going to speed this up a little bit, but in the back area of the service tunnel is the armory. We're going to enter the armory, and then on the back wall, we're going to place that arm that we just picked up on the panel here. That's going to unlock the ray gun for us. Now that we have the ray gun, we can go about collecting the canisters, changing the ray gun modes, completing the painting puzzles, and defeating the mini-bosses. There are 3 in each of these sections, and they correspond to different colors, so we'll be referring to each section as either blue, yellow, or purple. For the blue ray gun canister, there are 4 blue crystals around the map. One of them will randomly have the canister in it. The first one is in the service tunnel. The second one is going to be in the east foyer area from the bottom floor. If you look up, you can see it from there. The third one you can actually see from the outside facing the big mansion, but if you head upstairs, you can actually access this patio area and you can shoot it a little bit easier than from having to shoot it from far away. The fourth one is going to be in the conservatory area. If you jump down here, you can open the door from either side, but it's going to be up in these rafters here. One of those 4 blue crystals should drop the canister for you, and we're going to use this for the blue ray gun. We're going to take the canister over to the Speed Cola area, so where Speed Cola is located on the map. Just across from there, we're going to dump the canister off into this machine here. This is going to spawn some abominations down just below here. Now there are 3 rocks in this area, and we need to get these abominations to first laser beam these rocks, and then they're going to run into the rocks and attack them. So abominations altogether really only have 2 attacks. They're either charging you or they're laser beaming you. So again, first we have to get them to laser beam 3 rocks in this area, and then we need them to charge after them and hit them with their heads or just run past them. They need to graze them or something. So again, laser beam and then hit the rocks. Once all 3 rocks are floating in the air, the abominations will disappear, and then the center of this area will start to absorb essence from those rocks, and you need to defend it. So as you can see here, we have finished up with that puzzle from the abominations. Now that we have, we're just going to go ahead and use a mutant injection here and stand in the center area. Vermin will start to spawn. You need to protect this portal thing here. Once you're finished protecting this thing and all of the vermin you've successfully defeated, you're going to run back up to the canister and retrieve the canister. With the blue canister in hand, we're going to go back to the service tunnel. Now there is a portal in the spawn area, so if you jump through the portal, it's going to put you right where you need to be. Across from the armory is going to be a machine where we're going to interact with this machine, and it's going to upgrade the ray gun and give us blue ammunition out of the ray gun. Now that we have the ray gun with blue ammo, we need to access the blue painting area. We're going to do that by picking up this sconce, or essentially this wall lamp that's in between the elevator room and the double tap machine. We're going to take this to the grand foyer area and put it on the wall here. Now we need to play a little game of Simon Says. As soon as you put that sconce on the wall, it's going to light up either the left or the right lamp on the wall there. So what you need to do is basically interact with the lamps as they light up in the correct order. So for instance, on this one, it was right twice and left once. So it's 3 rounds of Simon Says, very simple, but as soon as you're done, it's going to open up this wall here, and then you can go down into this basement area. As soon as you get down into this basement area, we're going to go over to the painting, and the computer right next to it we're going to interact with. And with the ray gun with blue ammo, we're going to shoot enemies as they start to spawn. That's going to feed this painting, and once the painting is completely absorbed of all of the energy that it needs, it's going to open up as a portal that you can jump through. Once that happens, you're going to jump through the portal, jump back out, and we need to complete a couple more puzzles before we can finish this off. After opening the blue painting portal, we're going to need a bell. It looks like a hotel bell on a front desk, and it could be in a few different places. It could be back here behind this glass. It could be in the middle section area. Normally we found it over here though. We're going to break this glass, and it's sitting right down on the bottom shelf here. Interact with this little bell. We're going to pick it up and we're going to take the bell with us. Along with the little hotel bell, we also need brain rot on one of our guns. So we're going to put brain rot on this gun here. We're going to take that little bell upstairs. So from the grand foyer area, if you head right upstairs down towards the back of this area, there is a little bar here. We're going to place the bell on the bar. We're going to use our brain rot on a zombie, and then we're going to interact with the bell on the bar and start ringing it until one of these zombies, the brain rotted ones, jump behind the bar. There will be a little bit of an animation here, and then eventually this zombie will spit out a flask. Now, I already picked up the flask. It is an artifact, so I let my buddy go ahead and pick it up here, but we're just going to pick up the flask and go back to that same painting room portal here. So jump down into the grand foyer area. We're going to go down into the basement here, jump through this blue portal, head to the right. There's a little platform or an altar that you're going to put this flask on. Placing the flask on this altar, it's going to teleport your teammates into this room. It's going to lock the room down, and then an enemy will spawn. The enemy has a blue barrier around him. You're going to shoot this blue shield with the blue ammo from your upgraded ray gun. This may take a few rounds because the shield does regenerate after some time, but once the enemy is defeated, you are essentially done with the blue section of Shattered Vale. To obtain the yellow canister for Shattered Veil, we're going to need axes, combat axes. So I'm going to go ahead and grab 5 from a crafting table. You only need 2 technically, but I'm a terrible shot. So we're going to go down the elevator here, and in the mainframe chamber area, if we hang a left, we're going to see a letter on the wall here. It's either A or B. So we know it's A. We're going to go back into the service tunnel area and take a left as soon as you get through that hallway there. There are some pipes on the wall here. The first one that we must hit is going to be the lower one, the lowest most one on the left side. And then we're going to hit either A or B depending on what the letter on the wall was. Like I said, I'm a terrible shot, but I managed to pull this off. So we basically want the gas to blow out of those pipes. Once it does, we're going to run back to another crafting table. We're going to get some explosives here, and we're just going to grab a Semtex. We're going to throw a Semtex on this gas chamber here that's now filled with gas. That's going to spit out our yellow canister. To fill a yellow canister, we need to collect 4 plant seeds. We do this by destroying 4 different plants that randomly spawn around the map. Their location will occasionally repeat between matches, and I'll show you where a few of them are, but you're really just going to have to search around until you find all 4. There's sometimes one down in this corner, for example, but we want to use explosives on the plants. If you shoot the plants, there's a fractional drop rate. Using explosives is a guaranteed drop. The type of explosive does not matter. I've used impact grenades, Semtex, frag grenades on the plants. Doing so should drop a plant seed, and again, we need 4 of them. Right now I'm just showing you where a few of these plants are located around the map and how exploding them is a guaranteed plant seed drop. If you need more explosives, you can obviously visit a crafting table. They're located all over the map, and I would just go with the cheapest explosives possible so you're not wasting a whole bunch of salvage. I grabbed a frag grenade here and just cooked it and blew up this last one. This is going to be our 4th plant seed. We're going to take these plant seeds to another location in the conservatory area, but again, you're really just going to have to scour the area for those plants for the plant seeds. With our yellow canister and the 4 plant seeds, we're going to head over to the conservatory. We're going to place the canister in the machine here, and then there are 4 incubators for our 4 plant seeds. We're going to need to place the plant seeds in the incubators and then watch them and protect them from zombies. If you don't, this is round based, so if the zombies attack the plants and you fail, you are going to have to wait till the next round. The 3rd one is located underneath the first 2, as well as the 4th one is around the corner on the opposite wall from the 3rd one. Now, just to reiterate all of that, in order to fill the yellow canister, you need to plant the 4 plant seeds in the 4 incubators in the conservatory area. You need to protect them from zombies as they grow, and if the zombies destroy the seeds before they grow fully, you are going to have to complete this on the next round. Once the plants are fully grown, you can go back to the canister. All 4 of them are fully grown. Go back to the canister, retrieve the yellow canister, and we're going to go upgrade the ray gun to our yellow ammo. The machine that we need to place the yellow canister in to upgrade our ray gun to the yellow ammo is going to be located in the spawn area. All the way back where you spawn, the machine is here. You're going to interact with it and then craft your ray gun into the yellow ammo ray gun. With this ray gun, we're going to go work on the yellow painting. The yellow painting is located in the library. Right next to the yellow painting is going to be a computer we're going to interact with. We're then going to use the yellow ammo from our upgraded ray gun to shoot enemies that's then going to feed energy into the yellow painting. Do this until a portal opens in the yellow painting. Once we have the yellow portal open, the next step is going to be a puzzle where we have to collect 3 items that we can only see using Ether Shroud. Now, there are more locations than there are items, so there may be locations where the items don't spawn. I'm going to show you several locations where we definitely found these items at. First one was just outside of the yellow painting room. Second one is going to be upstairs in the east foyer area. There's a 3rd one in the east foyer area just outside of it, upstairs next to the bar on this computer table here. There's another one in the fireplace next to the elevator. So we definitely found one there during one of our matches. There's going to be another one in the fireplace in the east foyer area. If you need to, use this power keg gobble gum, but there's also a way to recharge your Ether Shroud in the mainframe chamber area too. And lastly, there's one in the study back here. So just to recap this whole process for you again, there are 3 items that you can only see using Ether Shroud. There are more than 3 locations, but once you collect all 3 of those items, it's going to spawn these glowing book-looking things in the library on the bookshelf across from the yellow painting. We need to interact with each of these things. So they do have symbols on them. If we're looking at the symbols, we can see that there is one circle on one. There's another circle with a line down around the middle, that indicates 2. And then there are 3 circles on another one that indicates number 3. So 1, 2, 3, you hit all of those, and it's going to open up a door here where we're going to have to collect this nuclear report. This is an item that we're going to need to put on an altar inside this portal area. Same as all of the other painting puzzles, we need to collect an item, put it on the altar, and that's going to spawn a boss. This boss fight is similar as well in terms of having to use the yellow ammo from our upgraded ray gun to break the shield around the boss and then deplete the boss's health. Once we're done with this, that completes the yellow portion of our Shattered Veil run. To collect our purple canister, we're going to need a Casimir ball. Now, I already have one in my inventory. I purchased it earlier, but if you need one and you don't find one on the ground through a drop, you can obviously use a crafting table to purchase one. You just need enough salvage. But we're going to take the Casimir ball down into the back area below double tap, and we're going to throw it there in this zombie spawn area. Once the Casimir ball is done, it's depleted, we're going to have a canister drop on the ground from inside that zombie area. This is going to be our purple canister. To fill the purple canister, we need a few items, the first being 2 reflectors. So there are 2 reflectors that are located inside 2 identical fountains on the map. First one's going to be in the conservatory. You just run up and interact with that fountain there. Second one's going to be just outside of the director's quarters, outside on a balcony. So again, these fountains are identical, and if you interact with them, you will pick up reflectors, and we need 2 reflectors. The next thing we need is going to be a bomb. Now, these bombs spawn in these crates around the map randomly. So you're really just going to have to keep an eye out for these white crates in various locations. The bomb is not in the same spot every time. So as soon as you see one of these white boxes and you don't have the bomb that you need yet, we're just going to shoot these boxes and hope that a bomb pops out. Eventually, I happened upon this box here that was hidden in a corner, and the bomb popped out for me. So we're going to take the reflectors and the bomb, and we're going to head down into the service tunnel. Inside the service tunnel, right next to the 3-plate vest, there is a rock wall that we can explode with the bomb. The reflectors are going to be used inside this section, but first things first, we're going to use the bomb to blow up this rock wall here. It's going to expose a tunnel for us. We're then going to go down inside here and use the reflectors on this boss puzzle. This is how we're going to fill the purple canister. We put the first reflector there. The second one's going to be on the opposite side. It takes me just a moment here to find exactly where it's at, but it's going to go right inside here where those jagged rocks are. We're going to take our canister and put it inside the machine, and that's going to spawn a laser beam that's coming out of a crystal. Now the trick here is that we want the laser beam to be hitting one of the statues of the enemy mini-bosses. So that Doppelgast over there, the laser beam was hitting that statue. I went over and punched the crystal, and that shot a pulse through the laser into that statue, and the statue came to life. So we need to do this 3 different times. We need to reposition these reflectors in order to aim the laser beam at the proper statues. But you can also move the reflectors as well. So after you do the first one, we're going to take a reflector from the back area off, and we're going to climb this little hill here inside this tunnel, place the reflector here, and when you punch the reflector, it re-aims the reflector. So as you can see, I'm repositioning this laser beam so that it's going to hit one of the Doppelgast statues down at the bottom. As soon as I can see that one is hitting that statue, we're going to punch the crystal. It's going to send a pulse down the laser, and it's going to bring that statue to life. You have to do this 3 different times. I am going to show you all 3 different laser and reflector positions, but essentially all you have to do is you're going to put the 2 reflectors down and then put the canister in the machine. That should give you 1 statue. We're going to move the reflector in the back of the room up to the top, up that little cave tunnel. That's going to be the second one. And then for the third one, you just have to punch and reposition the first reflector that you placed. So that's going to give you this 3rd mini boss here. This one's a little heftier than the first 2, but nothing that you can't contend with, especially if you have the ray gun that's upgraded. But once he's dead, the canister should be filled. We're going to turn around, go back to that machine where we placed the canister, and we're going to go pick up the canister now. Now that we have the purple canister, we're going to go upgrade our ray gun. So we're going to go back into the director's quarters, and inside here, just across on the opposite wall of the bed, is the machine for the purple canister. We're going to upgrade our ray gun, and now we have a purple ammo ray gun. Now that we have the ray gun upgraded with purple ammo, we're going to go find the purple painting. The purple painting is located just across from the double tap soda machine. It's going to be in the same room as the elevator shaft. Just to the left here, we're going to interact with the computer right next to the painting. And just like with the yellow and the blue paintings, we're going to have to kill enemies with our purple ammo so that it feeds energy into the purple painting. We're going to do this until enough energy feeds into the purple painting where it opens up a purple portal for us. Once the purple painting is unlocked, we're going to head over to the table and interact with this bottle that's on the table. This is an elixir that we need to pour into 3 different chalices located around the map. The chalices do not need to be completed in any particular order. I just ran to the closest one. We're going to interact with these chalices, pour the elixir in there, and then defeat the mini boss that spawns. The first one's in the bottlery. The second one's going to be in the overlook above the grand foyer in the front of the house. So head upstairs, and on the back side, there's going to be a bench just up those little steps there. Elixir sitting on the bench. You're going to interact with that. It's going to spawn the mini boss in the grand foyer area. That's number 2. Number 3 is going to be in the spawn area. It's going to be in the garden pond location. It's going to be on this bench here. Interact with that chalice. It's going to spawn the enemy up on the bridge. Take out that enemy. That's all 3 of the chalices for the purple painting puzzle that you need to complete. After completing the 3 chalices for the purple painting puzzle, you're going to need to go back into where the purple painting is, and around the elevator there are going to be numbers. You're going to take all 3 of these numbers, and we're going to head into the director's quarters area of the house. From the director's quarters, if you head outside and take an immediate right, you're going to see a machine inside here, a soda machine, and then a safe on the ground right next to it. You're going to input the numbers that you saw that were located on the walls around the elevator shaft into this safe. So the combo for the safe is going to be the same numbers that were on the wall around the elevator shaft from left to right. I went ahead and let my buddy pick this up because he needed it for his intel, but we're going to take this artifact out of that safe, go back into the purple painting, and place the artifact on the altar. This is going to spawn a mini boss whose shield you're going to need to shoot with the purple ammo from your upgraded ray gun. Same as with the blue and the yellow mini bosses and the blue and yellow paintings. You're going to have to shoot this enemy's shield with the respective gun of that portal, and this one is going to be the purple gun. All right, so once you defeat this enemy, you deplete his health after removing his shield. That completes the purple portal for the section of Shattered Vale. Once you've completed the blue, yellow, and purple mini bosses inside their respective portals, we can now work on upgrading for the main boss fight. I would recommend a selfie and a chopper gunner for this. Beyond that, your loadout is entirely up to you. There isn't a gun that I would necessarily recommend. I ran the ray gun with the blue canister upgrade through most of it, but grab any perks you think you might want, gobble gums. Just make sure you have that chopper gunner and that selfie going into this. Pack a bunch of weapon more if you want to, 3-plate vest, yada yada yada. But chopper gunner and selfie going into the boss fight for Shattered Vale. So let's talk about the boss fight. The boss fight in terms of strategy, you're going to want to shoot him in the eyes and the mouth when he's spraying poison, and in his sides when you can see green. So essentially what's happening here is he has these green skeletons in his sides, and if they build up, he's going to spit out of his mouth. So if you shoot the green zombies off his sides, that's going to do extra damage. If you shoot him in the mouth while he's spitting them out, that's going to do extra damage. And if you shoot him in the eyes, that's going to do extra damage. So that's your offensive plan. You're going to shoot him in the sides, in the mouth, and in the eyes when appropriate. But defensively, I can go ahead and tell you that Idolize does not work here. He will still chase you. If he's chasing you, you either want to create some distance or you want to go underneath him. Effectively, that's meant to do the same thing. You're going to go underneath him and then create some distance. But I did have some luck with sliding underneath him while he was charging at me. Likewise, I had some luck just running around the rocks, sort of zigzagging and creating space that way. But this boss is not that complicated. You really just have to do damage to him and avoid certain things. Obviously, avoid the zombies, avoid the poison puddles on the ground, and just make sure you know where the T-Rex is at all times. So we're in the chopper gunner here just to show you how much damage the chopper gunner is going to do. You need to make sure if you're in the chopper gunner and the T-Rex is chasing one of your partners that he leads him away from underneath this rock side here, because I can't see the chopper gunner when the T-Rex is all the way up against the wall, but you can see the chopper gunner does do a lot of damage when I'm actually hitting him. So recommend the chopper gunner obviously for this boss fight. Eventually, the T-Rex will start to glow green. He'll get really angry, start to glow green, and then this is sort of his rampage stage. He is a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. Occasionally, he will jump up onto the cliffside and start to spew poison. He did this 3 different times in our boss fight run, so I don't know if it's timed or if he's supposed to do it only 3 times, but once he starts glowing green here, you're still going to follow the same sort of offensive process or strategy where you're shooting him in the mouth if he's spitting, you're shooting him in the sides when he's glowing, and you're shooting him in the eyes if you can. It's also worth mentioning here that if he jumps up onto the cliffside, you can do a little bit of damage to him right away, but then he goes immune pretty quickly, so you can't shoot him, just focus on the zombies at that point. As previously mentioned though, this boss fight is not that difficult. We're here at 20% of his health, and I still have all of the perks that I came in with, plus my selfie, plus some gobblegums. So again, you can just make sure you bring in whatever you need for your loadout. We're doing a lot of damage there on his side and in his mouth. With all of that said, this boss fight might be relatively easier than some of the other boss fights in Zombies Black Ops 6, but it is not without its challenges. I'm here having to use my selfie at the very end. My buddy said, leave me, I'm going to shoot him with my ray gun while I'm down to do damage. I grabbed him real quick, we were able to finish off the boss, but hopefully this helps you guys out. If you found any part of this video helpful, please consider subscribing, and we will catch you guys next time.